Hi guys, what's going on and welcome back to the episode of Conqueror's Blade. So today I want to talk Pike Militia. So I have done a video on these guys quite a long time ago, but they are still one of the sort of ultimate low tier units that everyone really should have. And yeah, I just thought it was worth kind of touching on in terms of a video. So let's just have a quick look at mine and I'll talk you through a little bit about why I like them and some of the problems I've got with them and something I'm trying to work towards. If I can even find them, I have far too many units in my barracks. So yeah, Pike Militia, they are a 2-star unit. They are dirt cheap to buy. They are dirt cheap to maintain. A unit kit is 517. So I mean, it just means you can bring these guys into battle and it really doesn't matter if they die. They cost you very little. And only 110 leadership. They are one of the very few extremely low leadership units that's actually capable of taking on pretty much anything it finds on the battlefield. And there's a few good reasons for that. Well, pretty much the main reason is its veterancy line. If you get Pike Militia, you need to be going this middle veterancy line. Basically, it's almost redundant all the way along, up until some things like this. The extra brace damage is nice. The extra brace damage there is nice. But then you're going to get 2 critical ending nodes. Increase the number of enemies each soldier can attack by 1. So that means per stab you're now hitting 2 units, and it elites the unit. And this, bracing stuns units, and that is so critical. By that means it actually interrupts the enemy unit's attack. So if you run into the front of a Pike Militia, you're with a unit, not hero, mind, with a unit, that unit will then go to attack, but it gets hit by the pike and it's stunned, so it gets a knockback. Then it will stand up again to go and attack again, but then it gets hit by the Pike Militia, it gets stunned, it gets knocked back. You can almost never land a hit frontally on a unit of Pike Militia because of this stun mechanic that goes on here. It means it will always stun units. Combined with the fact that actually bracing ticks are really fast. You know, it's hit, 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 rather than a sword unit which might swing once every 3 seconds. Means it applies that stun very regularly, and it also ticks up the damage really, really quickly as well. Because their actual base damage attributes are really reasonably high. 1400 piercing armor penetration and 1100 piercing damage is really not bad, particularly for a 2-star unit. I am unfortunately missing one critical doctrine of this, which I just cannot get for the life of me, and that is the bracing damaging doctrine. I've only ever got one, and I stuck it on my Fortebraccios. This increased damage while bracing by 100, and that is an absolutely critical doctrine. I'm continuing to try to get one, but the gods of treaties do not seem to want to give me a bracing doctrine. But considering Pike Militia ticks damage for about sort of 300 in bracing, something like that, against most units, adding on an extra 100 fixed bracing damage is going to add like 25% damage output to this unit. So that's a really, really important doctrine. I have obviously got the breakthrough doctrine onto them, and then increased AP damage and stuff like that, and then a little bit of extra health because they don't get a lot in terms of health. And of course, defensively, they're pretty appalling. 290 piercing damage isn't going to stop a great deal. Not when you consider the fact they also have no shield and no block as well. So if you run into a unit of archers, crossbows, guns, anything like that, frontally, you're pretty screwed. They'll die pretty fast. But when you get into the right position, when you can brace into a large clump of enemies, you'll see the amount of damage you can do is really, really intense. And that's what makes a unit so nice, particularly for a 2-star unit. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's just hop into some gameplay now, kind of see how we've been getting on with them, just so at least you can see what the bracing damage is like and why this is a unit you should be unlocking. So for the first battle, where else but Orgolia defending the A point? I mean, this is just the Pike Militia's perfect location. Obviously, things have changed a little bit now with Fortebraccios kind of coming around, but the Pike Militia is still a much more flexible unit, and of course it's awfully a lot cheaper with it only being a 2-star unit as well. And it can still perform the role pretty well, as hopefully we'll see here shortly. So obviously, we set them on the A point, close up against the wall. The enemy need to capture the point, and they're looking to make a push. And obviously I'm trying to block them, covering these 2 doorways. The unit is pretty fast moving, and it can brace at any point. It doesn't need to make its formation to brace like a Fortebraccio. It can brace easily out of formation and still does a chunk of damage. So we're kind of looking at the enemies kind of gathering in the doorway. I've got 2 ways I'm thinking about covering. A few sort of iron caps coming from here, so I'm having a bit of a look at. But they weren't really pushing hard enough for me to sort of bring my militia into the doorway. I'd rather just sort of cover from the side. But then as our Imperial Pike advance goes in, I see an opportunity to sort of get forwards, and you can see the sort of ticks we start getting, sort of damage we start to do. you know, hitting from anywhere from 1,000 to sort of 300, depending on the hit point and the armor issue of the unit. But, you know, that sort of level of damage, and you see how quickly the unit is stabbing. Basically anything that touches it receives damage, and the unit can do it without receiving too much damage back because of the stun. And then we get that 30 kills, super easy for a 2-star unit. There was a fair mix of stuff in there. It's pretty high tier stuff as well, so it shows what it can do. Then we start to get a big push through. I go straight for the Conqueror, rush straight up to them, put my spears in my face. They try and charge, and look how quickly the unit dies. I nearly died myself as well. But I mean, the unit basically achieved nothing, the Conqueror, because they can't move. They're permanently stunned and stuck in the face of my unit. So I'm still pushing around. I'm trying to heal, which hence the funky camera angle. But we're keeping the damage of anything that comes through. I'm just trying to keep these 2 doorways pinned down. Up to 60 kills already. Things, however, are starting to get a bit out of control. Unfortunately, one of our friendly hero dies, which means his unit retreats. And, you know, you see the problem here now. I'm trying to keep these village watchmen under control, but we're getting more stuff pushing through the gates. And I'm just trying to keep things under control, but we are starting to get overwhelmed. And as we get attacked in the back, unfortunately, there's just too much stuff, and unfortunately, too many enemy heroes for us to deal with. But we get a really good chunk of kills, and it kind of shows what the potential Pike Militia is on the defensive, particularly when it's got a narrow doorway and cover. So, switching over maps, we're now into the more offensive capacity. Pushing up the siege tower, unit of Conqueror and some Martellatori. Obviously, Martellatori aren't much up to much, but those Conqueror try and slam straight into the front of the unit and immediately take a huge chunk of casualties. This is right at the start of the battle, so we've got the other kills at this point. And yeah, basically wipes that unit of Conqueror. We take a chunk of damage from that hero behind us, and a little bit of some of the Conqueror slip through, but you know, that goes to show how these Pike Militia can hold the line. It's a bit of Pike Militia v Pike Militia. I have a slightly better angle on them, and I'm using my hero to try and disrupt the formation so they can't stun me quite the same way. Then as allies push on, this gives us the opportunity to push in and just really cut that unit of enemy Pike Militia to pieces. They are a bit of a glass cannon unit. They either have loads of damage or they have no damage. You know, they die really quickly if they get caught out of position. But you know, in this case, they did really well. So I just pull back, put them into safety for a little bit while I decide what I want to do. There's quite a lot of stuff on the A point, and I basically heal myself up for a little bit. Just about 30-40 seconds later on, and I just push slightly further down the wall heading towards the B point because I didn't feel I could get the unit safely onto the A point to attack because there was just too much range stuff there. And we come up against more enemy units of Pike Militia, sort of countering Pike Militia with my Pike Militia. I don't think they had the stun in the same way we did though, and you know, ultimately that's why I win, because I can stun that unit. They can't stun me back. That's why getting that veterancy line is so super important on the Pike Militia. And we're able to just push up combination hero and Pike Militia, pull them up the stairs with me. Get a little bit stabbed to death by this dual blades, but interestingly, look when it goes around the back and it hits the unit of Pike Militia. It gets all the criticals all at once. We only got an assist, but we did the bulk of the damage. It does kill heroes really quite quickly, this unit, when it needs to. So then I thought, well, let's head down here, see if we can outflank around the back of the A point, try and apply a bit of pressure there. So pushing around, thinking about, you know, the unit's pretty badly damaged now, and it's sort of half strength, so, you know, we're going to be struggling a little bit here, but we'll do what we can. And we immediately encounter some Fortebraccios at the top of the stairs, push straight into them because they're not in formation, and bam, a couple of ticks and the unit is dead, or what's left of that Fortebraccio unit, because they weren't in formation. We do unfortunately get hit very hard then by an enemy Maul hero. I managed to get the grab. I tried to carry him around the staircase, but that wasn't working, so I had to throw him back down into a unit of shields. But unfortunately, in the meantime, the bulk of my Pike Militia unit gets killed. And then, just a little bit off, I tried to push in and... wait for it! Friendly mortar hit. And that spelled the end of me there. But still, it was a good push. It kind of just shows what the Pike Militia can do on the offensive. And I think that's what sort of makes them such a lovely unit. They can defend, they can attack, they're quick, and they're only a 2-star unit. And they can really take on anything from Iron Reapers to Serfs. You know, so long as they don't get hit by the actual Iron Reaper charge, they actually do a reasonable amount of damage to them, because they take that to 100, 200, 300 damage so quickly, and there's so many of them in the unit. It just makes them a really versatile unit. And really everyone should be having a versatile Pike Militia unit like this leveled up. Everyone should have a level 14, level 15 Pike Militia, because it's such a useful unit to have. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully this video has kind of been vaguely entertaining. If it has, do let me know what you think in the comments down below. Of course, subscribe to the channel for a load more Conqueror's Blade content, and I shall see you guys all on the next video.